Hey guys, it's the History Nerd. Perfect timing for that cough to come. Ugh. We're here with Cold Waters. Let's get this campaign on the go, shall we? So, we are going to do the North Atlantic campaign in 1984. We'll probably take a look at the 68 campaign much later. Right now, I need all the fancy technology that a Los Angeles-class attack submarine can give me. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee there. As tensions build along the Iron Curtain, Warsaw Pact forces launch a devastating surprise attack across the Fulda Gap. Central Europe is plunged into war, and NATO nations struggle to push back. Resupply convoys from the United States are crucial to the war effort and must be defended. NATO Naval Operations assigns you to the Norwegian Sea and North Atlantic in an attempt to maintain control of the situation. Let's get this campaign started. Sure, we can give it the same save file. Well, no, let's be smart about this, shall we? There we go. Let's play you there. And for now, we'll go with Thomas Chesterton, because I don't expect to survive this first little mission. So, you know, we're gonna go through a lot of names. Here's our selection screen, so you can see we've got the Los Angeles class, we have the Narwhal class, we have the Sturgeon class, we've got the Permit class, and the Skipjack class. I think that's it. We're gonna obviously roll with Los Angeles because it's the biggest and the newest. Effective immediately, you are hereby assigned command of the Los Angeles class submarine USS La Jolla? Or is it La Jolla? I'm guessing La Jolla, but I'm going to call it La Jolla. Just because soft J's are always much more fun. Congratulations and good luck in your new command. Thank you. Com, sub, slant, whatever. What will Reaganism mean for U.S. foreign relations? That's a very good question. New President-elect Ronald Reagan has begun his term in office with establishing a harsh tone against the Soviet Union. The former Californian governor, once a Democrat, is reputed for his anti-communist stance and active part-taking in sorting out socialist friendlies in Hollywood in the 1950s. McCarthyism. Yay. The new U.S. president is regarded with suspicion in the Kremlin. Sources close to the Politburo affirm that Mr. Reagan is regarded as somewhat of a loose cannon whose presidency risks to spur controversy and conflict instead of a continuation of the more appeasement-oriented policies of Jimmy Carter. I am going to take a look at the music levels because it sounds like it might be a little too high in my headphones. I don't know. We'll see. Brezhnev's legacy, stagnation and paranoia. The death of General Secretary Leonid Brezhnev is sure to result in considerable debate within the Kremlin walls. The last decade has been one of stagnation and increased bureaucratization of the Soviet colossus. An unnamed Politburo staff source was quoted in a recent Time article stating that the constant provocations from the Reagan administration has created an elevated and permanent anxiousness of American aggression within the Politburo. Mr. Reagan should think this over. It is dangerous. Provoking the bear. Is Reagan pushing too hard? With the recent announcement of the Strategic Defense Initiative, several independent political and security analysts are expressing a concern that the Reagan administration may be pressing the Soviets too hard. Tensions between the Soviet Union and the U.S. are continually increasing. The increased U.S. military spending, followed by Mr. Reagan's denunciation of the Soviet Union as an evil empire, raises the question just how the Kremlin will react. Soviet-down civilian airliner. International outrage as the Soviet Air Force shoots down a Korean Airlines flight over the Sakhalin Islands. All 269 passengers and crew aboard were killed. The Politburo issued a statement claiming that the plane was on a spy mission on behalf of the United States. We regard this a deliberate provocation to test our military preparedness or even an attempt to provoke a war, the Soviet Minister of Defense said. Tensions between Washington and Moscow are now elevated to a degree not seen since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1961. Overall military readiness is heightened as NATO exercises in the Pacific and Atlantic are denounced by the Soviet Union as deliberate imperialist provocations. Pershing missiles deployed in West Germany. Development of the new Pershing II nuclear. I saw the comment. I'm going to work on it, but my God, this uneducated Canadian is definitely going to want to still say nuclear. So I'll try to get it right. Thank you for pointing it out. Deployment of the new Pershing II nuclear ballistic missiles has commenced in locations around West Germany. The introduction of this high-capacity theater weapon into the United States nuclear arsenal has already been the cause of considerable controversy between NATO and the Warsaw Pact, as well as within Germany itself. Independent political analysts agree that the continuous escalation of the arms race, NATO's presumed technical superiority, and the strong anti-Soviet rhetoric of the Reagan administration adds up to a volatile situation. Moscow's latest threat to withdraw from the arms talks is seen as a particularly disturbing turn of events. The question looming over Europe is how the Soviet Union reacts should it consider diplomatic negotiations are exhausted. Soviets thought nuclear drill Able Archer was real. In a hearing, the director of the DIA, Lieutenant General James D. Williamson, told the Senate the Defense Intelligence Agency assessments of Soviet responses to the NATO Able Archer AB-3 exercise held in November of 1983. Mr. Williamson told the story a little too close for comfort. The strong reaction corroborates with the standard diplomatic relations between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Years of terse anti-communist rhetoric, deployment of high-capacity nuclear missiles, and the outspoken ideological friendship between President Reagan and British Prime Minister Thatcher has caused fear among the Soviet leadership. Reds attack, war declared. I just poured coffee all over myself. Soviet infantry supported by armored units and strike aircraft stormed across the Fulda Gap today in a surprise attack. Initial negotiation attempts rapidly broke down, and a state of war has officially been declared between NATO forces and the Soviet Union. NATO losses are reportedly high. In the United States, military forces have been fully mobilized, and convoys loaded with men, materials, and arms have already begun crossing the Atlantic. President Reagan addressed the nation stating, "The full might of the United States Army, Marines, Air Force, and Navy will be brought to bear on this unprovoked attack." And that is where we are today. We are docked at Holly Lock, someplace in Scotland. And we finally got ourselves a top secret order for the La Jolla. Tactical situation. Intelligence has discerned a pattern of movements of enemy at-sea replenishment tankers and tenders. A small enemy force, including one or two of these ships, is expected to sail from Murmansk momentarily for a rendezvous near the Barents Sea. You are ordered to find and sink this group before it completes replenishment of enemy forces. You may also get a chance at the enemy submarines this group is intended to support, but tenders and tankers are the mission target. Locate and sink the tankers. Locate and sink any enemy submarines if possible. Avoid detection by anti-submarine patrols. Weapons free, and maintain radio silence until otherwise directed. Well, let's get out here. We've got ourselves fully stocked, all systems operational. Cast off, anchors away. Okay, so here's where our sub is. I don't think I can pause on the world map. So, you know, we kind of just gotta go with it. So I'm just guiding the La Jolla by holding down on the left mouse button and moving off towards this direction. Now we know that they said they were coming from Murmansk and they were leaving soon and they were going to the Barents Sea. So they got to be somewhere around here. Now the problem is, of course, we've got some surface ships up there. Let's go see if those are them. They might not be. Obviously, that's pretty far away. But surface ships. What do we got? A single sonar contact, bearing 45, designated Sierra 1, light scattered breeze, strong surface duct, strong thermal layer at 245 feet. We're currently going 216 knots. My God, could you imagine 26 knots at a heading of 312 at a depth of 600 feet. All hands battle stations. And the first thing I'm going to do is get ourselves going to ahead slow. And if this is a surface contact, ladies and gentlemen, I say we do a little surface attack. Now, surface attack is probably not the safest way to go about doing this. We should be able to pick up their signature somewhere. Oh. Let's straighten out. We'll go back to our submarine. Straighten that out. Good. So we've got that. We're just not quite sure what it is. So let's find out what it is. Come on. Oh my God. Not quite. Not quite. There we go. Let's log that sucker in. And back to our boat. Just sort of turn ourselves so we're pointed at them. And I believe they're going away from us, maybe? I don't know, but it's a single ship. So we should be able to just pop it quite simply. What I was going to do was get up to the surface. Getting to the surface is a very dangerous thing. And I don't mean surface to quote-unquote use the deck gun. I just mean getting close enough to the surface that we could pop up the periscope. Because, I mean, obviously, like, you get that close to the surface, you got airplanes that are hunting you, and now you've got, you know, torpedoes falling from the sky, and it's not necessarily what I would consider to be a good time. We're a silent hunter here. The best course of action that we can do is just, you know, hunt silently. We don't have a target lock on this guy yet. Oh, that is not at all what I wanted to do. And if anything, I should have put it behind. Was an inadvertent torpedo launch. But that's okay. At least I know we're not quite the direction I want to be facing. Perhaps not necessarily the world's greatest submarine captain. Like I say, we're gonna need some practice. But just slow it down there. Good. I mean, there's really nothing else we need to worry about. With it just, like I say, with it just being a single ship on the surface, really what I should have done is fired that torpedo back here, so it would pick itself up and just auto-target it in. Shooting ahead of the ship is a waste of ammunition. Unless that ship is really, you know, booking it. And by the time that torpedo gets there, it's, you know, past that. But whatever. What we could do is just fire off another one here. Perhaps a huge waste of ordnance for a single ship. I won't argue that. Oh. There's definitely a ping. Just a single ping, though. This guy might have an escort. But we don't have any other contacts in the area. Oh, there's definitely something pinging. We should probably, well, I feel like maybe we should rig for silent running. Or just get out of here. I mean, we've got the 2 torpedoes launched. The second one will probably hit. There's definitely something hunting for us, at the very least. We'll rig the ship for ultra quiet. Aha. We do have a second signature there. Probably some kind of escorting submarine. Sierra 3. Oh shit, and that guy's closer. Okay. Negative. Let's go back. What, did we lose it? We had it and we lost it? I don't like that. Let's just try and find... It might be this guy. We'll have to see. Are you... Oh! Well, taking a look at this, it wasn't exactly the world's greatest location to shoot a torpedo, I thought initially, but it might be able to activate itself and get targets on one of those 2. I am concerned about the guy over here. The brief 3rd target we got. We could send out a ping to see it. I don't necessarily like the idea of sending out pings going all crazy. Has it moved that far? And then we've lost that one? It's a serious ship right there. Okay. Our first torpedo. The hell was that behind us? Oh, just like ice and shit. That makes sense. We got our first torpedo actively engaging in there. So that's good. We got our second torpedo. In fact, let's zoom in here. Where are you going, buddy? We are all over the place. You were definitely hit, but you do not look like a tender ship. You know what I mean? And I don't mean like the way you might want a steak. I mean like T-E-N, well, spelling it's not going to make that distinction clearer, but you know what I mean. A ship of tender, not like whatever. That just looked like a corvette or a destroyer or some kind of warship. It's definitely a warship because it's got like butt ton of guns on there. Anyway, that is beside the point because we got other shit to deal with right now. So this torpedo is still in the water. Oops, I want the torpedo. And please don't. What a waste. I mean, I get it. I understand it. But still, what a waste. Let's pull up tube 2. At least I think that's tube 2. And you're saying if we launch off a torpedo roughly there, that it'll go have no problem finding that ship. Which I hope is true. That was a big boat. Like, I'm guessing some kind of destroyer. And then this guy, if I know my Navy shorthand, this would be a frigate, which is also not really a tender ship. But that's oh, look at that. We got S3 popping back up again. Which tells me okay, yeah, good. That torpedo is away. And they are definitely pinging me. So, what I want to do, though, I don't think they can actually hear me. Which is this stuff here. If I understand things correctly, we will, if these go, you know, positive, then they can see us. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because there are quite a few ships right now. Oh, he's just gone silent. Or at least he's cut his engines. Well, what about you? You're still motoring. The two of you are crossing paths here. This concerns me for the 2 torpedoes I've got coming in there. Chances are they'll pick up one of them, but not both of them. Kind of like what happened back there, where the second torpedo went and struck a ship that was quite happily already dead. I'd say we got this guy pretty much dead for rights. I hope. But then that concerns me for this, or for this one, which I don't think that suggestion was right at all. I would definitely say this, as long as it activates soon. Oh, it's still there. We got a guy down here. I don't know what happened to the that's what happened to that torpedo. Gotcha. All right, well that's 2 down. And this guy here was just a little destroyer. Still got one more out there. And critically, no many torpedoes. We should probably get those reloaded. Like so. They shouldn't be making too much noise while we reload the torpedoes. 2 destroyers so far. That's not bad. Well, was it 2 destroyers? We got a destroyer and AS. I'm guessing AS stands for anti-sub. Or maybe awkward schooner. I don't think it stands for awkward schooner, but I kind of hope it does. So, now we've got this guy here, which is a... that's the frigate. Yeah. It's just got to be a sinking ship releasing gas or something. So we want the frigate, who's obviously pulling evasive maneuvers here. My God, with a fire on the water there, that is a thing of beauty. So if we want to try and catch him, and we do want to try and catch him, you're telling me way out there? I don't think so, because it feels like this guy's going in circles. I think if we go slightly to the back of him, we'll be able to pick up on that a lot quicker, or a lot better. I hope. Time will tell. Yeah, there he goes. Kicking up his engines again, making all sorts of noise. Pinging me like no other's business. So yeah, at the start of this mission, when I said I was contemplating going up to the surface, I have a feeling this would have been one of the worst times to actually do that because of the engagement with just surface ships. They're going to have far more weapons that can get you closer to the surface than if you stay, what, 350 feet below? And coming from a game like Silent Hunter, you know, that's where the submarine warfare changed so much between World War II and the Cold War. You know, like just the idea that you don't even have to be anywhere near the surface. What are we, 350 feet below the water, and we're shooting off torpedoes, no problem. It's great. And then you just sit here with your engine off, firing off torpedoes, letting this frigate do donuts, trying to find you. After you sunk their escort cruisers, well, their escort destroyer and anti-submarine ship. You can just fire and forget torpedoes like nobody's business? Man, war got easy. I kid, of course. I'm afraid that this ship is going to be out of range. I mean, it might not be. And it's definitely that ship that is trying to ping us. Because if he moves far enough away... Granted, if he moves far enough away, like, we could pull away from this engagement, and I'm already happy with the way it went. I doubt, you know, the Atlantic Fleet Command is. Because I doubt we've accomplished anywhere near any of the objectives they sent us out here. Like I say, these things don't seem like repair ships or cargo ships, right? They're active warships. But on the other hand, it's two ships that we took care of, that the Soviet Union's going to have to rebuild. All right, we got our torpedo going in on a ship that shouldn't even be active. Okay, so if we're going to want to do this, how fast is this guy going? Can we get a speed estimate on this guy somehow? Doesn't look like we can. Okay. So disappointed that that this is happening right now. So disappointed. Back to our sub. Zoom out a bit. It definitely seems like this guy's turning and burning. Go ahead, load up tube 3. I mean, at this stage, we'd be fine to do something like that. And yeah, we definitely need to only go a third ahead so we can keep our eye on him. We're definitely going to need to load up on some more equipment. Once we get back to port, We've spent a lot of ammunition today, and had quite a few torpedoes hit ships that have already died. That's okay, though. You know? These things are gonna happen. I just hope now that we've got the torpedo activating far enough away from the two dead ships that these guys won't be giving off any sort of signal to distract our torpedoes. Pretty cool, though. Like, the damage models and the ship models in this game are pretty darn good. I like that you can easily swap between them all to scope them out. They sink a bit quickly, which, I mean, you know, that was the thing in Atlantic Fleet. Those ships sunk quickly as well. And I think that, I mean, necessarily for that game, because you wanted those ships out of the way. So that you could maneuver easier. But, yeah. I don't know, the more I play this game, the more I realize that it's just a good, let's relax, do one mission at a time, take your time with it, and just enjoy. You come into a situation where you've got a single submarine up against a fleet of Russian ships. You don't want to rush into things. You want to take it slow. Take it easy. We've completely lost that guy, haven't we? S2. Completely gone. Completely gone, and he is still pinging us. So our only hope really is this torpedo. If it can get out there and acquire a target and sink it, great. If it can't, then I'm just going to call it a day and, you know, go see if we can find, let's reload those. We got 6 torpedoes left in stores. That's fine. We'll go see if we can find, you know, our actual objective. If this guy winds up disappearing on us, you know. S2. We're way out there. Yeah, he is booking it out of here. Thank you, Dell. You don't need to constantly remind me of that. I don't even know where our torpedo is on this screen. What? He came back. He's going away again. Yeah, there's definitely still a surface ship out there. He's back up there. With 2 mines, let him go. Or try and hunt him down. But I'm concerned about what's going on over here that I can't see anything. You know? I don't want to be surprised. Yeah, like that Cashin up there. That destroyer's going 31 knots. Even though we're a very fast nuclear battleship or submarine, you know, we're not getting up to 31 knots to chase that guy down while still being able to see any other ships around us. Because there's another one out here somewhere. But if we send a single ping, chances are we're going to get picked off. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like we can just leave. We sunk 2 ships. They don't know where we are. We don't know where they are. Might as well call it a day. 5 knots, we're not gonna We're not going to see him anywhere. Alright, one ping. I would, in theory, like to just send a torpedo over here, but I know S1 and S3 there are going to pick him up and confuse my ordnance, which is not at all what I want to do. Now the question is, can I get a target lock on you? No. That's fine. That's what I wanted to zoom in with. Yeah, he's like right over here somewhere. How did that ship wind up flipping after it had already gone down? I don't know, but it's definitely a dead ship. I feel so conflicted. Do we go for the other two? I just don't think... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Oops, nope. Other way. There we go. You get up. Nice and slow. We want to get to about 50 feet. Is the cutoff? So we'll take her to about 100 feet with the dive planes, and then we can just use the ballast to get us up the other 50. I think that'll be the safest way to do this. We are climbing pretty quickly. Temper it down a little bit. Okay, so we picked up Sierra 2 way out there, and there's a torpedo happily going along. Definitely not going to be catching up to anything. Okay. Let's, I know I said 100 feet, but, you know, I want to be as exact as I possibly can here. Let's straighten out and just let the ballast take us the rest of the way. So why I want to get up here is to just do a quick scope out with the periscope. That's all I'm looking to do. Because if we can actually visually see some things, sort of figure out where these boats are, I guess technically ships, these are surface ships, we'll be in a slightly better situation. But again, getting to the surface, it's, you know, makes things dangerous for anti-submarine ships. Nobody wants to deal with anti-submarine ships. We're just going to get there as softly and quietly as we can. 5 more feet. Yeah, that guy. Okay, there we go. We're stable at 49 feet. So what we're going to do now, if we hit Shift F1 to bring this up, we're going to go find our periscopes. So what we're going to do is just use the good old-fashioned periscope, We're not going to raise an ECM or a radar mass because that's just going to be pinging our location out like crazy. But the periscope, we should be able to just pop up with 0, hit P, and do a little bit of a scan. Alright. So, if that's 0, we're going to want to be looking a little bit this way. Can we zoom in a bit? And can we see anything out here? Boom. We got that guy there. The controls for these are a little weird. I hold down the right mouse button and drag to the left to bring my periscope to the right. So we've definitely got that ship there. The M2 frigate. And we lost it again, but we can still visually see it. Oh, that's that guy way out there. Thought there was a ship in between the two. Is there not? I think that's just an iceberg. So maybe that is the only thing out there? But then what's... There's no active ping going on, that's for sure. But I still... What's my low light option on this thing? Sensors. Periscope. Low light vision could be toggled on off with... Oh. Well, that's not... It's not helpful at all. It makes things even harder to see. But amazingly... Like if we put that... Is he coming this way? I mean, I don't think he can see my periscope. Which is why it's just the periscope out here. Now, if these torpedoes are high enough up, we might be able to plot a good course on this guy. Without having those two sunk ships interfere. Looks like he's definitely coming down here. So I would suggest if we fired off a torpedo sort of in this direction, I don't know. I'd like to see his course a little bit more to try and figure out what it is he's doing. I mean, if he's circling to find a submarine, it's pretty far out. All right, let's fire one off about there. The wire broke. Well, that's okay. I don't know why the wire broke. It shouldn't have. Still, let's drop down that periscope and continue on at this depth. Yeah, you see, I think he's moving again. He's... gone into a full circle there, hasn't he? Have I lost visual on him now? No. Nope, that is definitely not a ship. That is an iceberg. I think I've lost visual on him. That is also an iceberg. Yeah. It is a massive iceberg. Well, with no visual on the ship, I feel like if that torpedo just kind of keeps going, because he should be somewhere around here. Oh, no. That's forward, so he should be somewhere around here. There she is. But I think that's the only ship that's left. So while it would be lovely to get this guy sunk, I just don't know if it's a possibility. Can we not go to that? No. I guess because the wire's broken. Hopefully, it'll acquire its target, and we can continue the war. If this torpedo doesn't work, I think I'll just try and end the engagement. We're coming up to an hour. That's good for a first proper episode, though, isn't it? And I know this is different from Silent Hunter 5, and it's not got quite the same personality of the game. But I'll tell you one thing. This game functions mechanically a hell of a lot better that I've experienced so far. Granted, I don't have the 500 hours in this game that I do in Silent Hunter 5, but, you know, from what I can tell. And of course, I'm excited for the Soviet campaign as well. Be a nice extender into this game, getting to play from the other side. So that torpedo, it's doing its thing. Just gonna leave the periscope up. Oh, wait a second. Okay, no, that was just, I was thinking, oh my god, there's a target by us. No, it's just the text of the S1 Dawn overlaying on top of us. Come on, torpedo. I think there's a way to speed up time. Somehow. Speed multiplier. The speed of... oh. Ah, okay, so no, I just need time scale. Well, I think there's a way to do it, but I will, looks like... options? Accept? Okay. Don't hit escape when you're in the periscope view. Yeah, it's saying we got no contact, so we can leave whenever we want. I just want to get confirmation. There it is. I just want to get confirmation that that torpedo is not indeed going to sink this frigate. Because, I mean, if we can get 2 destroyers and a frigate, or an anti-submarine ship, a destroyer and a frigate, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that to the bank and, you know, say things are good. Because, I mean, it's on a fairly good course at the moment. I just can't activate it. I don't know why that wire broke. It didn't seem like it was such a jaunty angle that the wire would snap. I imagine it's just one of those, you know, things. Our torpedoes could definitely use a restock, but I think we've got enough to take on another convoy. We got, what, 4 in the tubes and 5 sitting there internally, so yeah, we should be able to get, you know, some more damage dealt to another Soviet group if need be. Personally, I would like to take out some diesel-electric subs, because those things are like shooting fish in the barrel. Fish in a barrel, not the barrel. There's not one singular barrel that all fish get shot in. The torpedo is slowly closing up the distance. I'll be better prepared next time. I'll learn how to speed up time. At least I'm fairly confident it's possible to do that. I wonder if he's going in behind the icebergs. That might provide some cover from a torpedo. I would like to select my torpedo so that I can see, because it definitely looks like he's going in. Maybe he's going in front of that iceberg. That could be, and it definitely looks like he's speeding up there. You can see a singular light on the back of that ship. Yeah, he's definitely in front of the iceberg there. And I don't think that torpedo is going to alter course to follow. Oh? Maybe it will. Let's get out of the periscope view. I wouldn't mind somewhat cheatily taking a look at the ship. And when I said there was a light, it actually turned out to be the flag, the Soviet naval ensign. So, you know, whatever. But that torpedo, if we can get under here, oh yeah, he's definitely pinging like mad. And there's the torpedo there. Hopefully coming in on a nice intercept course. And it's definitely picked up the ship, which is nice. They can't see a torpedo wake, which is... At least I don't think they can. Doesn't look like it's out there. Should be around here. We're not seeing anything. We are definitely under the water, seeing a torpedo come swooping in, though. Oh, I'd say that's looking pretty darn good. Wouldn't you? There's just something about torpedoes that can automatically track a ship. Look at that hole. Look at that. We got fuel. This is a very beautiful game. It may not be, you know, the world's greatest graphic engine, but my god, like the fuel coming out of there, the ship models, the terrain, like the water is beautiful. I like the addition of the icebergs up here. I don't know if those actually factor in gameplay-wise. I mean, it looks like they would. You can see, you know, quite a massive chunk of ice there. That's got to factor in. And as this frigate slowly sinks to the bottom with explosions. That is another Soviet ship taken care of. Well, the Lahola is doing some good work today, that's for sure. With the area of operation clear, as this last frigate finally slips under. Just a little puff of smoke and a ring of fire are all that's left to indicate there was once a warship here. But hey, from NATO's perspective, we did some good work. Let's go ahead, leave the combat area. Intel after action report, we sunk a Canaan, a Krivik 1, and a Dawn. We got some weapons remaining, and no system damage, which is great. From CubSat Lant to USS Lahola, SSN 701. From the Sink Lant Fleet, mission update. Superb effort in locating and eliminating the enemy's ability to replenish their submarine force at sea. Keep up the good work. Await future orders. That was our objective, guys. It's amazing. And thanks to us, several NATO naval groups have recently been operating unopposed. A Pentagon spokesman revealed that the enemy's ability to effectively operate around the Barents Sea had been drastically diminished for reasons that remain classified. The United States Congress has called for more troops and armor to be made available for the conflict in Western Europe. Once deployed, it is expected these additional ground resources would halt the Soviet advance and bring a speedier end to the crisis. Well, that's not bad at all. Looks like we got some more orders coming in from Com Sublant to USS Lahola. Satellite recon has spotted enemy cruise missile submarines and several attack submarines preparing to sail within 72 hours. It is imperative these SSGNs are sunk before they can strike at NATO convoys transiting the North Atlantic. No other friendly units are in a position to intercept the enemy in time. Locate and sink enemy cruise missile submarines. Sounds concerning. Oh, and we've got them. Will I be able to save? Oh no, we don't have them. Okay, good. So, with a victory way up in the north in the Barents Sea, we are now, next time, going to be digging around trying to find those Soviet cruise missile submarines that are headed for the North Atlantic. So, obviously, they'll be coming somewhere through the Barents Sea. We're going to be looking for them. Is that actually saving? I feel like it isn't actually saving. Okay, well, we're going to have to hope that it's saved. And can I load? Is that going to work? Yes, it will. Lovely. Okay. Just had to make sure on that. Well, that does it for the first episode today. Thumbs up if you have enjoyed today's episode. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.